Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are here with my 97 4x4 Nissan hardbody that we've been converting into a two-wheel drive lowrider. And today, a couple issues that we got to address. So in here, we have to get a two-wheel drive airbox at some point. I think the hood closes just fine right now without it, but it will cause us some issues later. I do need to cheat these holes up a little bit on the fan shroud as well. I did figure out what this little wire went to. It went to the washer fluid reservoir, which we do not have anymore. I deleted that. And all sorts of other fun things. Might cut the exhaust because I plan on welding in a new exhaust at some point anyway. Even if I just use some tubes from the parts store, I will be able to cut that somewhere around there. And we also have to reroute a wire inside of the cab on the passenger side, and as you can see, this is fully movable. I unbolted the seat already. So a couple other fun things. We'll just kind of go as we go. I am waiting for my new sending unit to come in for the fuel tank. So as you can see, we have that out right there. I got to disconnect the tubes, that bracket, and all sorts of other fun things. I don't know if I'm going to stress about painting up the frame right now. I'll get back to you guys on that one. But I can tell you already, one of the big things I remember I needed to do was take some PB Blaster and soak this for the next couple days. So this is right here we have our O2 sensor wire. I got to rehook up or hide or run somewhere else. But this shaft is pretty long. It's a spline shaft that our steering sits on. Basically a steering shaft. And we need to soak all of this, all these nuts and bolts. I'm going to have to take apart all that and use that bushing and lower everything down about an inch. And if it's too long, I'll lift up the shaft and cut it like a ½ inch to an inch and run our shaft down a little bit so it's not binding. That's one of the more important things right now. And I think I'm going to get a Sawzall down there and cut my exhaust so the cab isn't sitting on it anymore so I can lower it down. And just one other thing I want to do real quick is I'm in the debate on whether or not I want to do my rockers right this second, or if I want to do the radiator support right now. And I'm leaning more towards the radiator support, just in the fact of I'll probably delete my AC while I'm here, just to simplify things in the engine bay. Not like it's that complicated, but I get to get rid of all those hoses, get rid of the pump down there, and get rid of this little AC condenser up here, the canister, XYZ. I just gotta find, like I said, a good way to bleed it out properly, and then, or have someone do it, XYZ. And then we can remove that and take off the radiator support. And as you can see, we really need a new one. This is just crusty and not good, not safe, no support from my fender. So would rather do that now, clean up the truck, give it a good look, and then later on we can move over to the rockers because they'll be a little more accessible. It'd be good to get the radiator support right now out of place because I have to remount my bumper. So once that's out, I can remount my bumper. So what's up, guys? One thing I wanted to say real quick just to make this video easier is a lot of the stuff I'm doing on this truck isn't something that a lot of people are going to do. It's just interesting content to watch someone do. But when it comes to things like the radiator support and possibly removing the AC, I can make a video showing you guys how to do that because that's something someone else might be able to do. So what I'm probably going to do right now in this video is start a video. It's going to be its own video just to help out other people. It'll probably get dropped in the winter. It might get dropped in between a week, just something like that. And it's going to be how to replace your radiator support and probably also how to remove your AC. I'm still up in the air about that, but I would like to remove it. It works great, but I don't know, more moving parts to go wrong when we're bouncing around on switches. So just kind of stay tuned for that. I'm just going to make a whole separate video on that. So if you want to follow that, I'll try to link it right here when it goes up. And anyway, we're going to continue with the 4x4 build, but you might just see this come apart and then a new radiator support magically appear. But in that time, we are going to focus on all the other smaller issues, which will be awesome because it'll give me a great chance to mess with those holes and lift up that fan shroud while it's out, and just a couple other fun small things. But back to our video, like I said, you'll see that I'll kind of change and go back to brand new in its own video just so I can help other people who are dealing with rust or car accidents or things like that. All right, guys, I guess I can kind of skim through lightly what I got going on. So as well with the radiator support coming out, I had just taken off the fenders, the cowl, my wipers, all that fun stuff, the grill, the lights, the corner lights, and what I'm also doing is deleting the AC. Like I said, if you want to see all that, it's going to be in the other video. But I figured I'd kind of give you a couple steps along the way just so you can see what I'm doing. And what I'm going to do is run a lot of these wires outside here because it's like the most accessible thing to get to right now. It's crazy. So that's going to be really cool, really clean, and awesome to see. And like I said, just for you guys, I'm going to disconnect the battery real quick. That's something I was going to mention. And I also realized why the air box is higher. It finally all makes sense. When you body lift the truck from factory for the 4x4s, but when the truck gets the factory lift, everything goes up about 2 to 3 inches, and the air duct for the 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive wouldn't work the same. So instead of changing it all up, they just made the box a little higher with a riser at the bottom. That way it can reach and connect to all the air ducts just fine. So it all made sense after that. And so figured I'd just state that. Well, this truck has been absolutely torn down in the last couple days. I do got to say that right now I'm at the point of removing the radiator support. So that's pretty sick. And I don't know, just keep working on it. Well, all right, guys, I think I'd fill you in real quick. I did get the radiator support off. It looks like I'm dealing with a bit of a rust issue. Maybe in the future I'll try to find an inner fender, or the near future try to find an inner fender to fix up and make fit in there essentially. So we'll see how that goes when I get there. But everything else, not too bad. I mean, we've really been tearing this truck down. The cab ain't even bolted to the frame. So I'm probably going to go yard off that exhaust. So I'm definitely really deep into this project. And I will probably be deleting the evap stuff back here. All I'll do is make the purge line go into the air breather is what I heard I should do. So I'm going to try that out. Basically, does the same thing. I mean, this truck doesn't have to go through emissions testing. It's over 25 years old, so it's exempt. We are good there. Love to see it. And the only thing I'm going to do while I have some time now is get rid of some of the scrap metal I've yarded off. So I need to just take this bracket off on my own time because we need that. I am going to pull the sending unit. I'm going to pull out the filler neck and everything for now, and drain the tank and throw that out. And I am also going to figure out what to do all of this, probably throw all that in the trash. I'll keep the pump because the pump was fine, and also get rid of my radiator support. You know, to be very honest, I'm just chilling out here. It's a really nice night, just thinking about the truck, and I was like, man, you know what I'm going to do right now, just because I can do it, and why not? I'm going to delete this third eye brake light at like 9 o'clock at night because, you know, why not? And it just looks to be like these 2 torque bits. So I'll go grab that, pop this out, and see what we need to do. Just throw some tape over it for right this second. You know, while the whole truck is apart, might as well get rid of that ugly thing. Okay, we've unbolted this now. Actually, it goes this way. We've unplugged it. I'm going to wipe that down, stuff this little wire back in the hole, and I think I'm just going to throw some tape over it for right this second. I just wanted to get this ugly thing out of here. Get that piece out, man. Oh, such a better look already. That red was so out of place. All right, guys, so I got another little project going on. I have 3 videos currently going on right now. I'm cleaning the frame, I'm doing the radiator support, and we're doing all the oddball stuff right now. So there's like 3 things right off the back I can do. There's 5 small things. It's new airbox, lift up the fan shroud, reset the steering. We got to reroute this wire and cut the exhaust. So to get down here, gonna have to move these parts off my seat, I guess. Okay, so we're back here now. I guess another thing I can do later on is clean up some of this wiring mess. Wow. Just all that stuff for the sub, but irrelevant right now. Looks like this project's gonna pay for itself. I must have spilled my change drawer. Bunch of trash, of course. But what we're gonna do is unplug this from the floor. I think it directly plugs into the ECU. I gotta find out where it runs. Unrun it through this hole, drill the hole somewhere back here, and rerun it over to here. That way it is not being crushed by the cab underneath the frame. There's a better look. So we're gonna locate it somewhere up in there. Okay, we just did a little quick vacuum, and it looks like if I push out whatever this grommet is, I could just reroute this wire to right here. So I think that's gonna be the game plan. I'll use this little grommet right there to close up the old hole, even if this one's just a little bit bigger. We'll see. We'll figure it out as we go. So we've unplugged it from there and right here. Now I just have to literally push it through and drill out a hole that will allow this to pass through, because obviously this is way too small. So let me go get my hole saw cutter and we'll cut a hole. Actually super happy with this. I had the exact same hole saw. Got a little bit of a weird edge right there, and it didn't want to cut it, but we got through it. And now I can on-run this, lift up the truck, get this off the frame, and send it through there. Another strange thing I just realized is there is a bolt that's not accessible from inside the cab. So I'm gonna have to like cut a hole straight through and set up my own washer setup with a new nut and bolt to get to that body mount. All right, so we are now going to move on from the cab. The only other thing I gotta do with the cab to get it fully on the frame is to cut the exhaust. So I will be doing that in a little bit, somewhere just right before it hits, just so I can make some pipes to fit. It's just keeping us up just a hair, so it'll drop us down just a little bit more. Look at that, I actually have to notch this out some more too. This could also be keeping us up right now. So good things to see and notice. And I gotta go grab my breaker bar to hold up the hood. So my hopes are right now that I could possibly just remove this bolt and pull this shaft down. The shaft isn't very clean though, so I don't know how it's gonna like the grooves, XYZ, or if it's gonna roll down so far that I have to cut some off the end. In which if I do, I'll unbolt all of these, but I know we've talked about it a couple times, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, so now what I gotta do is take my steering, take the wheel and literally push it until there should be a little arrow on this. I guess it's literally on the bottom right now. So I gotta turn my steering, I think the full 180. Yeah, there's supposed to be a little arrow, and it'll with two lines, and it'll line up right on this middle little spline. And then I'll make sure my wheel is straight where it's supposed to be. And I'll reattach the steering. When I had to cut a bolt. When I cut it, it just started spinning on its own. So hopefully it's not too out of whack, but we just hammered this down and now it comfortably sits where it's supposed to, which is awesome. So this is really starting to come together. This is one of the harder things I had to do, but then my steering should be pretty happy again. Should work just like it should. Okay, and now I'll make sure that's hand tight after, but big shout out to my boy Shaq, dude, for hooking me up with the snap-on gun. This is like so thoughtful, dude. He just was like, I'm using Milwaukee now, and wanted me to have that. And dude, it is definitely a game changer. So we just tightened in our steering. As you can see, there's no more stress on there. A lot of anti-seize, so we don't have any issues in the future. And now I think I can. I think I can move over to my radiator shroud, but the problem with that is I should probably wait until I have my radiator in. So I guess that's something I'll come back to. Obviously, I know I need a two-wheel drive airbox, so I guess the next step for right now would be to cut off the exhaust. Okay, so something we can always come back to. It would totally be like the perfect time to install a header right now, but it's okay. It's okay, we'll come back. I have no idea what is holding this up. I guess I don't know what's holding you guys up either. But I was going to say, I have no idea what is holding this up right now. I'm surprised this hasn't just collapsed. It's probably the big muffler or something. So I actually lifted up the cab off the frame to access that hole. Oh yeah, that dropped us right down on there again. I guess we got a couple other small little things. Hey, check out the little FC flying by. But I guess we got a couple other little small things to try to figure out. I must be caught up on something still. I still got just like a hair of space, but I could really still be caught on the exhaust. So let's get that out from under there. Nope, user error. I just guess I just gotta cut a little bit more. So let's do that. Okay, we're making some real progress now. Basically, I'm gonna lift up the cab again and clean off both these surfaces, paint them up nice, and I guess we'll just bolt them together from there. But we are on there now. We are nice and tight, and I think actually instead of lifting up the truck, oh yeah, we can just grab her, pull it through. What I like to see. Oh yeah, you guys like this? A little self-tapered muffler kind of action right there. I cannot believe that held on for as long as it did. Muffler actually might still be okay, but I'll probably switch over to like a MagnaFlow or something. So all in time, we'll see what the budget's looking like and how long I've got until I put this back on the road and all those other fun factors. But getting some stuff done today. All right, I pulled another flap off there underneath the radiator, so it's all metal now. And now we're gonna address this this cab mount somewhere back here. I think it's right here. I'm gonna drill a hole through on both sides. That way we can access it and put some sort of plate there. Probably just need to remove the sub too while I'm at it. I wouldn't say fully embarrassing, but lightly. I guess this doesn't have the bolt head up here. It's the welded in nut, but it wasn't coming free anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe now that it's cut it will. But this is what we're looking at under here. So if I can just pull that bolt out, I guess once we weld in a plate, we can literally just send a bolt up through. Probably actually just cut it and run my nut as well, and that way it'll be accessible. Look at all that debris. I mean, that was bound to rot out at some point anyway. So pretty excited to have all clean nuts and bolts holding this cab down, and new plates as well. Don't worry, I'm gonna clean all that up a little bit better. But this was a perfect example. I mean, we are just right there. It's really starting to come together now. I think the next big step is really just welding. I just keep doing all these little oddball things, preparing it right before I pull the welder out so I can do a bunch of welding at once. And I'll probably get rid of the exhaust mounts on the frame, these little hangers and that, and so the emission stuff. I know I keep saying it, I just got to do it. Yo, what's up, guys? So, Minitruck update. So, I decided to make a little bit of a change and start getting into some shape. So, just on a little Walmart bike right now, but been working out. We've been biking every day, so super out of breath right now. I just got back, but want to live a little longer, so we're gonna keep up with our health. Other than that, Minitruck update, guys. Sorry, that was a personal update. So, yeah, this bed is completely toast. This won't end up back on the truck. Yeah, this bed side completely caved on each side. I mean, it was only a matter of time. We knew it was going to happen. You can see all the spray foam just gone, done. And I had to move the truck the other day, and it makes me feel motivated seeing it just not in the same spot every single moment of every single day. And I don't know, obviously it's not running, and it sucked to push up here. I actually held the neutral safety switch, put the battery in there, and cranked it first gear because it was like 11:30, 12 at night, and I had to move it, and it was just me. And I was like, all right, well, starter it is. She's putting this thing up the hill a bit. And so here we are now. I mean, she's got a wicked aggressive stance, and the radiator support is off. I'm just waiting to get some sheet metal so I can, you know, kind of weld in a new frame for the radiator support to sit up on. Everything else is going pretty good. We started cleaning up the frame. Obviously, it's just surface rusting now because like all the bare metal spots that I went down to are going to get corroded because of the water and all that being exposed to the elements. But it was just to get a good layer off. I think one of the big things we're going to be looking at next is just getting that radiator support welded on there. You guys probably already saw a similar clip to that. And I guess there's going to be a third video where next up we weld in the plates to weld the cab on the frame. I thought that was going to be this one, but I had a bunch of small stuff to do this video, so I don't know. It's kind of a big mumbo jumbo process because I have so many projects and so many videos going on right now. I mean, it's unreal, the timeline of how long this is taking. But at the same time, I only started it like 3 weeks ago, so it's all like very much so coming together. Just figured I'd give you guys an update to close off the video. Who knows, this clip might go at the end of the video and I already have the radiator support on. I mean, we'll see what happens, but figured I'd give you guys that life and Minitruck update. The purple truck is doing great. And so, yeah, everything's going pretty smooth. I just need to find a bed, weld the cab mounts. I got the cab, drop down all the extra things to get the cab drop down done. It's probably just a miscellaneous video, and I will see you guys in part 3 or 4, whatever comes out next. I know that sounds funny, but part 3 will be the radiator support, or maybe it'll be part 4, who knows. But, yo, thank you guys seriously all for watching this video and listening to my rants and just kind of sticking through me with the process. I just talked to a lot of the lowrider guys at the Cars and Coffee hosted by Ronnie and Kyle Hatem over at Hatem Graphics, and they all are just super down-to-earth guys and make me feel really good about this project. So it's going to be cool, like 100%. So again, thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out.